what's up and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be giving a review for the film The Crow. Now this is yet another reboot of the Crow film franchise, and it's kind of like a remake, you could say too as well. Now this time it's directed by Bush Sanders, and it has Bill Skarsgård in the role of Eric Draven, The Crow. Now of course the film does deal with like the usual plot about Eric being killed with his girlfriend, and he is like somehow resurrected. And he seeks revenge for the people that killed him and his girlfriend. So it does still have basically that plot point. But I felt that, and I know this film has been getting killed like on Rotten Tomatoes and so on. I know like a lot of people can't stand it, they don't like it and so on. I know they was already criticizing the trailer and so on. I must admit, I thought like the opening scene, like the credits when it's coming on, like you can see like I think it's Eric like in like all this blood and stuff like that. I thought that effect was like very awesome, like the visual effect when the film is actually coming on, like the credits. I thought that was pretty cool. But I do feel like myself, at times it does have like a nice mood and like atmosphere to it too as well. But it still was just something that just kept it from like fully like taking off, you know. I felt like there were like a bunch of plot holes in the film too as well. And at times it can be very violent, it's like very bloody and violent, especially when it gets like towards like the third act, like where Eric just really goes like full blown like revenge, you know, like just killing everybody. He kills like tons of people, you know, like seeking revenge. Then it gets like very like over the top, like the violence itself is like very like extreme. Now the film does also star FKA Twigs as Shelley, and she's like the love interest, of course, you know, of Eric. You know, they fall in love and so on. And I guess you could see like the antagonist of the film, he's known as Vincent Rogue. And he's apparently like a demonic crime lord who has apparently been around for centuries. So I was kind of surprised that I didn't know that Crow had that kind of stuff in it, because he's played by Danny Houston. But he is like the antagonist of the film itself. Now that's nothing I was kind of wondering about too. I have never read like the graphic novel The Crow, but I knew about it, but I never read any of it. Even like I think it's like an ongoing series too, so I'm not too sure how more closely this is to the comics than like the one that had like Brandon Lee in it, you know, like from 1994. I'm not too sure like how accurate they are to how the actual comic storyline is, you know. But yeah, like I said, it's like a lot of things in the film that I felt that you could tell they could have been planning on making this into a franchise, so you could see them leaving the doors open for like a sequel. But there were like a lot of plot points or plot arcs in the film throughout each act, you know, that I thought just felt like empty. They didn't finish it off, or they didn't explain why they were there and all this and that. Because like when the film does open, you get just like a sequence of Eric when he's a kid, and apparently something happened to him, and I think his mother, like, and he had like a horse that got injured or something like that, and he had to help it, but it still died. And then eventually he ends up like in this rehabilitation place for people. It looks like a prison, but it's actually like a rehabilitation place for him, and that's where he meets Shelley, you know, because she ends up in there too as well. And apparently, and this is kind of spoiler alert, she's like on the run from Vincent, like the demonic crime lord. She's kind of on the run from him. Her and her friend, she has like this friend that's like a girl, I forget what the girl's name was, but she's like killed at one point, and that's when Shirley learns that they're even after her, because at one point that's when she actually comes across Eric inside the rehabilitation place, and that's when they escape. And that was nothing I thought was kind of odd, how they escaped so easily, you know, how they couldn't find them, because that stuff like that I thought was I felt kind of off, you know. They didn't give like a better explanation for that. But eventually once they escaped, her and Eric began to fall in love and stuff like that. Now I thought that was kind of cool and interesting, because you could see right there, because that wasn't really like an original Crow film. Like you could see like the love and relationship that they did have, like Eric and Shelley. You could see how close they really got to each other, and you can see how they fell in love and all that kind of stuff. Then eventually they are killed, you know, because these people are actually trying to pursue Shelley, and they end up killing Eric too as well. So once he gets killed and she gets killed, he ends up coming back from the, you know, the dead. And there's this guy known as Cronus. I think that's what they call him, Cronus, and he's played by Sammy Bojila. I think that's how I pronounce it. And he's like a spirit that guides Eric on his mission. He also explains to Eric about the Crow, how the Crow can lead him to where all the people is that he have to eliminate, you know, for killing him and Shelley. So yeah, the Crow is there too as well. You get to see like moments where it's flying around the city, just like in the 1994, like the Brandon Lee one. You get to see like the Crow flying around the city, like very similar to that when it shows up. And you know, it's guiding like Eric to where he has to take out the next person and stuff like that. But overall, it could be like I said, it got like a nice mood and atmosphere to it, but I still think it was just like how like a lot of people are complaining about it does, like just like fall flat. I think there are like some pacing issues with it too as well. And like I said, it's like a lot of things they just like left like out or just like left open, you know. They don't really go into it too much. But like I said, this could have been just like character like development, character building, like world building. Like they probably was thinking that they probably like a sequel or something like that, and that's probably they just left stuff like that, like empty like that. Because even like the demonic crime lord Vincent, played by Danny Houston, you get to see that he has some kind of superpower where he'll speak something into their ears and he can kind of possess the person and make them kill themselves, because he did it on a couple of people in the film. But once he shows up and Eric has to confront him like towards the end of the film, he seems like a letdown. He doesn't seem like he's as powerful as he was built up to be. He seems like he's like a letdown. Like, you know, some films do that. They'll build up the villain like that, but then the villain turns out to be like just like a letdown. They're not really like powerful or anything like that. But overall though, in the end, I thought it was still okay, and I better be fans of this particular version of The Crow. Like in the future, I won't be surprised if this get like a call. You know, they'll probably prefer like the Bill Skarsgård version over the Brandon Lee version and so on. But of course, even I think the Brandon Lee version is much better than this particular film. You know, but in The Crow, I'm gonna give it just a C, and I guess I recommend for fans of this this genre or like The Crow itself. And I'm not still too sure how accurate it is to like the actual graphic novel too, or the comic series. I think it's like ongoing. I'm not really too sure about that, but I'm giving The Crow a C. Please leave a comment and subscribe too as well.